Welcome to Office Yoga. The best thing that we can do for ourselves and our bodies when we're sitting for long periods of time is to stand or go for a short walk at least once an hour. But you know that, right? So today's sequence, ideally, you can do this once a day, maybe at your lunch break, go through the entire sequence, or you can pick and choose the movements that you love best and do them throughout your day at your desk. If you're not already, go ahead and have a seat. If you do have a chair that has wheels on it, please be mindful. We don't need the chair or you to go flying across the room. We're going to start from the base and work our way up the body. So let's go ahead. If you have on shoes, you can still do this with shoes. We're going to bring our feet out and just spread your toes wide and then curl them in. Spread them wide, curl them in. Couple more times. Working into our toe joints. They get mushed together in our shoes all day long. Let's get some movement in there. Doesn't matter which leg, we'll do both. And then we'll switch to the other side. Pick up your foot, spread your toes as wide as you can, and crunch them together. Couple times here. It's so important to bring in movement to our bodies, especially when we're still for long periods of time. Getting everything moving, helping or preventing any pain that we may have. And we'll go back to our other foot and we'll just point and flex. Point and flex, working into our ankle joint now. And you might hear some pops and cracks, that's normal. And then we'll go ahead and go in a circle. You might find an area is a little more stiff or tight, harder to work in, that's natural. And we'll reverse directions. And then we'll switch feet. Point and flex. Breathing as we continue to do this movement. And being mindful, we don't want to end up in this hunched position. So try and keep your spine tall here throughout these movements. And we'll go in these circles. One ankle might feel a little different than the other. Just notice if that's the case. Get out any shakes that our feet may have. And we'll go ahead and sit a little towards the edge of our chair here. Again, being mindful if your chair has wheels. And we'll take our left leg out in front so that our heel touches the floor. Toes can point up towards the ceiling. And spine is tall. Go ahead and start hinging at your hips, reaching your left fingertips towards your left toes. You may or may not touch, that's fine. We're just looking for a mild stretch in the back of our leg here. Now we haven't done any warm-ups to warm our muscles, so we don't want to go incredibly far. We just want to feel that little bit of a stretch and stay there. And you can hold in stillness or do these little tiny pulses. We'll take one more deep breath in and out. Come back up. We'll switch to the right leg. Take your feet out. Inhale, reach your spine up tall and reach towards your toes. This side might be different than the first. That's okay. Find your edge where your body tells you that's enough, that hurts. That's where you stop. And then if you're doing these pulses, we just want to be mindful that we don't go past our edge. We want to stay within that range of motion. One more inhale. And exhale, come back up. We'll take our left leg back out and cross our right ankle over our left knee. We can stay here, gently bend our left knee. Go ahead and flex your right foot. If you are feeling a stretch in your right hip, again, stay here. Or if you'd like to increase your stretch, go ahead and hinge at your hips. Perhaps we lean our forearms on our calf here. And we'll take a few deep breaths. This is your practice, and these are meant to be adapted to you. So make them work in whichever way makes sense for your body today. Continuing to breathe If we have any tension or tightness in our jaws, go ahead and mindfully release, or perhaps you wiggle your jaw. Allow your face to relax. Inhale, come back up, and we'll switch legs. Right leg comes out straight, left ankle over right knee. Stay here, or gently bend your knee. And again, stay here, or hinge at your hips and lean forward until you find your edge. And take a few deep breaths here. Maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you're at work, taking a moment to decompress. Allowing yourself these few moments of stress-free inner days. Inhale, rise back up, and we'll put our foot back down on the floor. Get out any wiggles that we may have. And you can go ahead and scoot back farther in your chair. We'll take our hands on our knees or our thighs. Inhale to arch our back. Reach your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together. If it feels good, you can open up your throat a little bit here. And exhale, round your spine. Take your chin to your chest. Allow your upper body to round. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round. These seated cat-cows. Use your own breath to guide your movements. If there's any area that feels good, stay in that area for a little bit. Listen to your body and what your body is needing today. If these cat-cows feel good, stay here or invite in some different movement. Maybe we take our chest from side to side, or maybe we take it around in a circle from one side to the front, the other side, and rounding. Ideally, if we're doing this circle, we inhale as we come forward and exhale as we round. Making these circles as big or as small as you want. And then if we're doing circles, go ahead and reverse, going in the opposite direction. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, sigh your breath out of your mouth. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Give yourself a nice big stretch, stretching from sitting bones, spine, shoulders, all the way up. And exhale, reach out over to the right side. Take your right hand to your chair, breathing into your left side body. Take a few breaths here. If shoulder mobility is not here for us today, we can always take this left hand to our opposite shoulder and we'll still get this nice side bend stretch. Inhale, press up, reach your arms up, and exhale, reach to your left. Gazing wherever it feels best for your neck. Could be the floor, the ceiling, or somewhere in between. Inhale, come back up to center. And this time we'll inhale, sit a little bit taller. Exhale, twist to the right. Take your left hand to the inside of your knee. And if you have a chair with an armrest, you can hang on to this or the back of your chair. We're just going to gently twist over towards our right shoulder. Take a deep breath in and out. 2 more times. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen the twist just a little bit. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to scoot a little towards the edge of our chair here. And we're going to bring our knees a little bit wider into this goddess squat. Take your left hands to the inside of your left knee And like we're pulling a bow and arrow, we're going to inhale, open our right arm across our chest and open. Deep breath in, finding expansion in those areas of our bodies that wants to expand. And exhale, sigh your breath out. Inhale, come back to center. And we'll switch directions. Take your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Inhale, left arm comes across your chest and open up. Deep breaths here. Inhale, come back up to center, and we'll bring our knees back together and scoot a little back. Now we're going to work into our shoulders here. And what we're going to do is take our arms, our elbows at our rib cage. Forearms can be parallel-ish with the floor. And we're just going to squeeze our elbows together. And we do this by squeezing shoulder blades together. So squeeze shoulder blades together and our elbows will naturally follow. That is the only muscle we're trying to use. Squeeze shoulder blades together and release. Squeeze together and release. Continue doing this a few more times. If we are in the desk job business, then most of us tend to sit hunched over our keyboards. And so we're just working these muscles out. Over time in that hunched position, they tend to get stretched and they tend to lose a little bit of their muscle if we are not working on them. So that's just what we're doing here. We'll do 2 more times. And release, shake it out. Let's do some shoulder circles, a couple back and a couple forward. And continuing to get into these shoulders here, we're going to open up our arms, palms face forward, and little tiny pulses, we're going to pulse forward. Shoulders are away from our ears. Everything else is still. Spine is tall. Abs are engaged to keep us up. And then we'll turn our palms behind us and pulse backwards towards the wall. And we're probably feeling it. Continue on. We're almost done. Now turn your palms towards the floor and pulse down. Good, almost there. Turn your palms up and pulse up. This is the last one. Keep breathing. And release. Let them go. Give yourself a nice big hug. Bring your arms out in front of you. And we're just going to straighten and bend our elbows, getting into our elbow joints here. And then we'll get into our hands. Go ahead and make a fist, squeeze as tight as you can, and open up. Spread your fingers wide. Squeeze and open. Couple times here. Let's bring our wrists together. And we're just going to do a couple circles with our wrists. So palms face up towards the ceiling. And imagine that your wrists are glued together. So your wrists will never not touch. Unless it's a bone thing. But bring your wrists together, palms up. And go ahead and circle palms forward, down, towards you, and up. And we'll just do this a few times, making these circles. And then we'll switch directions, go in the opposite way, making our brain think. Make any other movements here that your wrists need, maybe a little shake, and then we'll get into the neck. We'll take our head Gaze out over the right shoulder and the left. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale back to center. And we'll take our nose up towards the ceiling, lengthening the front of your throat, not scrunching the back of our neck. Exhale down to your chest. Inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale down to your chest. And if it feels good, go ahead and stay down here for a few breaths. Perhaps we feel a nice stretch in the back of our shoulder blades, traveling down our backs. And then we can take our chin from shoulder to shoulder. Very slow and mindful here. Our neck is a delicate place, treating it with love. Stopping anywhere that feels good for you. And if it feels good, you can come into full neck circles. Exhaling down and around your chest, inhaling up and around the sky. And we'll switch directions. Inhale back to center. Exhale, sigh your breath out of your mouth. We're going to do 2 more movements for our legs because I know me, when I am sitting for long periods of times, my legs and my back hate me. They scream at me to get up and move all the time, but sometimes I am just so into what I'm doing, or I'm driving or in a plane and I just can't. So we're going to sit a little closer towards the edge again, and we're going to do some seated calf raises. So we're going to lift up our heels, staying on the balls of our feet, and bring them back down. Lift, squeeze your calf muscles, and bring them back down. Now, if you want a little extra weight here, we can take our forearms, lean on our thighs, squeeze up and down. And this is a great one if you are on a plane, just to get your muscles moving. When we contract our muscles, it helps our venous blood return, especially on those long flights when blood tends to stay down here in our legs. All right, well, inhale, come back up, and I've got just one more for you. Please be mindful of these wheels again. We're going to take one knee and squeeze it into our chest. Keep your spine nice and tall here, shoulders away from your ears. Deep breath in and out. One more, in and out. And we'll switch legs. Take your opposite knee into your chest. Breathe in and out. In and out. Go ahead and release. Get out any wiggles that we may still have. Invite in any other movements that feel good for your body today. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope that it's helped you, perhaps given you some ideas on how to bring in movement throughout your day. And have a great rest of your day.